We're back for more pro tips, this time with the DPS. We're getting right into the quick tips to help you instantly start improving on your own, but if you want some more detailed, in-depth guides, the GameLeap subscription has got you covered. Being a good player in the long term means a lot of discipline, and these lessons can help you massively. So check out the link in the description for a massive head start to start becoming a master of your own. Let's get right into the Ashe. Ashe has amazing burst potential that isn't utilized by most players. She can apply a ridiculous amount of damage in an instant, so make sure to lock onto anyone that enters your LOS with the triple shot combo. Using a scoped shot as Ashe into a hipfire shot is much faster than the other way around, so use it to get massive damage on anyone in your mid-range. A tank peeks you, blast them. A squishy tries to take space, blast them. When no one's peeking you, you're always reloading anyway, so make sure that when they do peek you, you're really filling them up with lead. Now onto Bastion. Using your form properly is the only real nuance Bastion has, so here's how to use it against the different comps you're going to play against. Against teams that play fast, like with Lucio or Ryan, you want to save your form for when they commit onto you, when they're speed boosting, jumping in, rather than wasting it for poke damage before the fight. Not only do you do a lot of damage in your form, but you survive really hard. Add that to the fact that if you use your form while not at max HP, you'll be healing armor while you enter your form. It's a lot of damage you can soak, and then punish people for trying to take the advantage on you. And secondly, against slow teams like other bunker comps, jump the gun and lay down heavy damage early in the fight. Turret form is so strong, it's almost like an ultimate in how hard it is to counter, so use every single point of that 360 DPS your Gatling does and catch your enemies early in the fight, taking space and forcing them back. Now onto Cassidy. Changes to his fall-off range has made it less valuable to shoot beyond 25 meters, so get close and play aggressive, while holding onto your roll to fall back to stabilize just in case you get too much pressure on you. Too many people play Cass and fall into the trap of just spamming choke. In order to get better value out of his kit, make aggressive moves and double dink any frontliner who's playing too far. Quickly moving on to Echo. Echo's ultimate has always had interesting uses, but patch changes have made it way less reliable to copy tanks. Look instead to copy instant value characters like Ana and Larry on the support line and Tracer and Sommer from the DPS. You want to dump your cooldowns? Copy. Dump your new copy's cooldowns, then play safe and dump them yet again. You'll be taking out the trash every ultimate. With Echo's relatively new ultimate charge adjustment, it's really hard to get ultimate with some tanks. Sigma, for example, is going to really struggle if you manage to kite him properly. Genji always has ups and downs, but right now, he's actually quite good. But you have to think fast, playing aggressive in the frontline with your fan of blades, then looking for any reason to commit on a vulnerable target, be it frontline or backline. Genji is a pretty good duelist, but he works best when someone else is taking the attention for him. So whenever your tank or other DPS are going in, look to capitalize at the same time. Classic teamwork, but it works perfectly for Genji. The second Shimada bro, Hanzo. Once again, don't fall into the trap of just spamming chokes. Like Cassidy, you're really important to get mid-range damage and picks. Your Storm Arrow is great for winning duels in the mid-range. Use your enhancement ability to really get aggressive angles, climbing into an angle to sink arrows in your opponents unsuspectingly. Play further up, be more outrageous, take these crazy off angles and give yourself more chances to hit headshots. Enough opportunities and you'll get a way better feel for landing those logs. Junkrat. Just like other spammy heroes, you want to switch your position up often. Every once in a while, you can find a good angle to keep farming choke points and look to stay undetected, so you can get chances for one-shots with your Conk Mine combo. And it also massively pressures backlines. Getting hit by 120 damage as a backliner is crazy, and it's sure to force defensive abilities. And it's sometimes better than spamming a tank in the main that's never gonna die. Mei's new passive is amazing for diffing every tank player even harder than before. Even Orisa, who can cleanse it, is practically forced to use it if you get the deep freeze effect activated. She can't use her spin to escape the slow fast enough, so her fortify is the only thing that can save her, leading to massive taking of space. And that's without even considering how good her wall still is. Punish tanks left and right, and in the meantime, spam choke at head height. Icicle headshots are really common, so give yourself a chance to hit them. Next is Pharah. Pharah's always been really good, trust me, I'm an EU. But Larry is giving her some serious stress. Just like Junkrat, switch up your angles and use high buildings for cover. While not all maps have them, use cover even if you're flying between your engages. Larry's and other hit scans will always look to pre-fire, placing the crosshairs in the sky looking for you, so keep them guessing and blow them up from the off angle. Switching up will always get you massive value. Remember, Pharah is really good, but the rest of the team has a lot of pressure too, so let them take the attention sometimes. The whole enemy team looking at you is one of the only ways you can't get value as Pharah. Manage your attention and your aggression, and you'll be farming in no time. Reaper is always going to be the best character in the game, because there's always a tank on the enemy team for him to bust. I can't believe he's not a must pick. Wow, just unparalleled, amazing character. Reaper obviously won't work on all comps and all maps, but for those matches where you can't just hard focus the tank and win, make sure to get really trolly. TP in backline, get aggressive, hide behind them, set up before the fight, and go for pressure on backline. You can two-tap people, and if you fail, just fade back to your team. As long as your team plays relatively aggressive when you go in, you'll be fine, getting value and kills every once in a while. On to Sojourn. When Blizzard designed Sojourn, it was all about the railgun. The rest of her kit is amazing. Her mobility is unique and super strong, and the disruptor shot is great for pressuring chokes, kind of like a delayed dynamite. But it's all about the gun. You want to get the rail shots and you want to hit people with that big fat damage. So build the rail and shoot it often. Try to get to 100, but holding it for longer than that isn't very good. You should only really be holding your rail if you're expecting an engage on you, like divers, so that you can punish them when they come in. But otherwise, look for the shots. Try to track someone with one bullet, then hit him with the head with a laser one shot. You'll be able to do it more often than you think. Consider the fact that your mobility will help you fall back if you miss anyway, so just look for it as much as you can. On to the next Overwatch agent, we have Soldier 76. Soldier is luckily a very solid pick right now. His damage has been put up to a really good level, and he's always a general classic. Just like any other high damage dealer with enhanced mobility, switch up those angles often. But instead of playing to poke and prod and run around all over the place, play for those long bursts where you really drill people down from off angles and disrupt their flow. When you commit to the off angle or any type of flank, hold it hard. Expect people to come for you and take the duel with them. It's really good for pressure, especially if your team is ready for it and pushing from main. Try to switch up your style in the late game. When everyone has ultimates, they're going to start playing more differently. But you can take playing differently to a whole new level. Play for main, play for the flanks, bait that you're going for the flank, then head back to main. So much stuff you can do, and a lot of places you can set up shop to really start drilling people down. Now for Sombra. Sombra is obviously in a little bit of a slump right now. She's always been really good, but now there's so many people who can handle her damage and her engage. Remember that building EMP is always a big winner, even though it's been nerfed to its charge rate. Just make sure to always look to kill one confirmed target with every EMP. When you try to EMP and you have 2 targets in mind or you don't tell your team who to go for, it's less likely you'll even be able to secure the one. Put all your focus on one person and disintegrate them, rinse and repeat. Remember that you can build more ult charge shooting squishies instead of tanks, on top of giving you a chance to one-clip certain characters like Bap, Lucio, or Genji. The only nerf to Sombra that's brought her down in play rate, even though Bunker is better, is that her ult charge rate has been nerfed. She's still really good at just hacking someone and blowing them up instantly. Laser people down with your amazing damage and hack combo. Don't stay in Invis for too long. Go for quick hack engages and then try to use natural cover so you don't instantly get forced out. Now for the Queen Symmetra. Build up that beam boss and use it to dominate the front line. Then quickly swap into an aggressive TP for a surprise angle. The best way to play Symmetra is just to abuse her damage. It's just so strong. Laser at mid-range and your crazy 100 damage glass pipe rockets at long range. It's amazing. Remember to not get hung up on using your turrets mid-fight. They're best used before the fight even starts. On attack, sending in a TP bomb, and on defense, having them obviously around the choke. You're much better off playing your normal neutral with your primary and secondary fire than trying to throw turrets mid-fight that will easily get countered and wasting your time. On to our favorite Turbo. Spam the choke. Throw the turret down and spam the choke. It's so simple, but really a lot of people don't get it. Using overload aggressively is always awesome, but your base fire rate right now is so consistent for 2-tapping unsuspecting frontliners. You can just keep blasting and save the E defensively. Everyone's gonna get pissed at the dwarf spamming choke, but you'll just overload and take the duel. Not to mention that you still have a turret that amplifies your team's presence on the map to an unholy degree. When you're spamming through chokes, adjust your angle. Make sure you're still getting it consistently. If you're not getting any hit markers, you need to swap things up. Change the angle, move somewhere else, even stack on your team and defend against the frontliners. Torb's damage is truly ridiculous right now, so don't save your ammo. Keep letting those slugs fly, as accurately and as often as you can. Onto the crowd favorite, Tracer. Tracer will always be a good hero, but make sure to not get stuck on fighting tanks and other divers. Pre-fight, if there's a Tracer or Winston in your way, fighting them goes great. But remember that Tracer's engage power is much better on backline. Just the fact that you can one-clip anyone in the game makes it really important to help the rest of your team go for quick kills even without utility. Tracer herself, with her damage and mobility, is the utility. So your team might even be waiting on you to make the engage happen. Finally, Widowmaker. She's always been a good solo carry hero, well, as long as you hit your shots, but make sure to give yourself ample opportunity to do so. Be greedy, look for jump shots, and challenge the enemy team to try to dive you or push you, upon which you can play more defensive with your grapple, baiting and divers to get punished by the immense peel that's in the game right now. Basically, play aggressive at the start of the game, then temper it down, play a little bit limit testy, get them to try to get you, and then punish them for doing so. Also, don't forget to tap some unsuspecting tanks in the head once in a while. Orisa specifically is super easy to headshot, especially considering most Orisas consider themselves invincible even before using the Fortify. Once again, check out the link in the description below for the GameLeap subscription to fill in the rest of your knowledge and get more experience. Keep an eye out for the next video with pro tips for every support to instantly start solo carrying your games, and enjoy the rest of your day.